Hello, everyone. How's it going? It's so amazing to see all of you back here this morning, afternoon, evening, wherever it is you are joining in from the world. I'd love to hear where it is exactly you're coming from in the chat. Absolutely just say hello and we'll get to know each other. And this is just day one of so many days in our lovely live stream. So I am Sam Anderson. I am a designer on the Adobe XD team here at Adobe in San Francisco. We have, lots of amazing people in the chat. Anna, hello. Anish, hello. Oh, so great to see everyone. Tim is back. Greg is here. I would love to also include where you're tuning in from, because that is also an aspect to this that I would love to see. Ariana, Kristen, Kevin is here. Hey, everyone. Greg Cars says hi is what Greg says, which is great to hear because Cars is usually here. So, but Greg is filling in his place and saying hi for him. John says hi. Hello, John. How's it going? Anish is Ashish, sorry for butchering your name, is from India. Lovely. Tuning in from Colorado. Oh my gosh, we have people from all over the world. Some others from Vivek's from India, Nigeria. Oh, this is just remarkable. Let's tune in. Let's look at our Behance page here, which is where we're going to kick things off and see where we're starting with our daily creative challenge, our first challenge. So here's where we're starting. I introduced this yesterday, but just in case you didn't catch it, this is behance.net/challenge/XD. And to get initiated into our daily challenges, you'll want to click this blue button here, and you'll get a notification each day. So if you scroll down in here, you'll notice that we have our first challenge for today. Joseph from Portland, thanks for tuning in, and everyone else, Milwaukee, Cheryl, thank you so much. And today we are designing an automotive navigation screen, which is going to be a blast. So there is a starter file that you can download right from here, and I'll be walking through it right here with you, so do not fear. All these will fill and populate in the future, so with each day we'll have a new challenge, and we're going to be sharing back our work as well on Discord. And so to get signed up on Discord, tap this blue button, join us right here. And that will take you to Discord, which I will show you right here. And this is our home base for our challenge over the next, this week as well as next week. We were running these challenges, so there are 9 in total, and this is the first one. And this is where we're going to be sharing back feedback. You can meet the whole community. We have mentors here, people from Adobe and outside of Adobe that will give you feedback. The whole community, all the other participants in the challenge are going to give you feedback on here. Pay attention to this channel. It's called Current Challenge, and it's really going to be the one that you want to be tuned into for this challenge to share back all of your designs. And so we have some lovely discussions going on here where people are sharing their work. They're posting links to Behance. Oh, look at this. Wow. This must have been from the previous challenge with Howard Pinsky. So shout out to everyone on that, sharing their work there, which is really fun. Let's see. We have more work coming in through here. So everyone will want to share their work through here. Okay, so let's dive into our challenge. Okay, so here's the starter file that we are working with today. And so the challenge for today, as I hinted at yesterday, and as you can see on the website, is I'll zoom in here. We're designing map directions for smart cars navigation screen. And so as part of this, we want to show the route, we want to show the next directional instruction, any key actions for the driver, all these different components that you might see while driving your car and seeing the navigation. So this is really important. But of course, there's also the principle that goes along with this. And basically, each challenge this week and next week is going to have this UX principle that pairs well with the challenge. Hello, Ojo from Nigeria. Great to have you tuning in, as well as everyone else. Sarah, hello. Thanks for tuning in. We're in XD starting our challenge. So the principle here is progressive disclosure. And what this means is that we're only showing what someone needs to see at any particular time. That way we don't overwhelm them. This is important because, like, especially in this context where we're designing for a car's screen, like this, for example, you don't want to overwhelm a driver. Like they're operating a super heavy vehicle at who knows what speeds. That can be really too much information. You can easily put too much information on there. And so it's really important to parse that down. What is the most important information that you can put on there, and save everything else for something else. Anna's from Chicago. I'm from Chicago. Hello. Great spot. And so I've included some resources here, which we are going to dive into during our design today. One of them is a plugin. One of them is a design tool on the web, and also an article, which I'll just show you really quickly here, about progressive disclosure. So if this is something you want to read more about, like the actual psychology around why you should only show certain features at a time, hop into this and read it. I really recommend it. You might be thinking like, Sam, I just want to design, I want to get visual, I want to be playing with colors, I don't want to read, but like honestly, this is good stuff. Actually, all of the articles on this Nielsen Norman group page are really handy UX design principles. They go beyond just the visuals, but really into everything that might be helpful. So be sure to read that for when you're designing this at home. You have a lot more time than me, so let's dive into it. We have some ways for you to track your progress and add up points, which are just a way for you to feel and measure yourself on how you're doing with your design. Awesome. Kevin says he doesn't read, but I think you should give it a go. Awesome. And thanks, Tim, for linking to that there. That's always nice because we don't really have links in XD, so you'd have to copy and paste it. Awesome. So where we're going to begin on our design, I even included an artboard here for you to get started. We're going to start with the map, because the map is really the most important aspect to this experience. And so there is a really handy plugin called Maps Generator, which I will show you actually in the plugins panel here. If you type in Maps Generator, you will find it here, and you can install it right from the plugin manager. And this gives you a really easy interface to add a map to your design. And so this is what I'll be using, and I'll show you another tool as well. But this one I think works greatly. So we'll make a rectangle as our background, and we will fill it with the rectangle selected. We're going to fill it with the map. And basically with the rectangle selected, we run the plugin, we type in a location, the zoom level, so how zoomed in you want the map to be. And there's even different types. I don't think the terrain or satellite imagery views are going to be that helpful for us in this use case, so we'll use the road map type for us. Be sure to turn off the location pin. We're not really using that. That's if you want the little red pin in the center of the design, but we don't really want that. So we can hit Generate Map, and look at that. Here's San Francisco, which is where we're streaming from today. Actually, the Adobe office is like right down here. And funny side note, where I went to school is right across the street right here, which is kind of like a fun coincidence. So we have a map. This is a good place to start, and we can start populating with those elements that we know that we want to show. So like the probably most important thing that a driver might possibly need to see is the next direction. What is the next thing they have to do? And so we're gonna be big. We're gonna have really big text and big visuals because we want to make sure that they understand that and they don't miss their next directional. It becomes really important. And so we're just going to do a text here. And so the next step will draw that route, what it looks like. So, but I'll just say turn right onto 7th Street. And we'll probably capitalize street. You know what's funny about me designing this is that I don't drive. So I'm not even the most ideal use case or user for a system like this. So maybe you can correct me. Maybe like, no, I don't want to know what the next direction is. Maybe I'm missing something entirely. And maybe we'll make 7th Street a little bit bigger because that's really the key point here. So, and we'll maybe make that even bold. Okay. That looks good, and that's kind of going to take center stage here on our design. And we'll even put in an arrow, because actually icons are going to be more consumable even faster than text on any design, especially in a situation where you're driving. Oh my gosh, like you see the right arrow, the arrow that turns right, and people will understand that like many milliseconds faster, which is surprisingly important in the case where you're in a vehicle and you don't want to crash into someone. So that becomes really important. So I made 2 rectangles here. I'm going to join them together like that. I'm just making a quick icon here that shows that we're going to be turning right. I'll use the triangle tool here, the polygon tool really. And that's really all we need. And we'll fill that, we'll make it black just like the rest of our text. That font looks like Halyard Display. That is correct. That is the typeface I'm using. Halyard? Halyard? I don't know how to say that. Halyard Display. Ashish is saying that the plugin is not working properly. Make sure you have a shape selected before you run the plugin. So that's going to be important for you. Ooh, okay. So we have our big directional. This is really an important piece of the puzzle, and we're going to just make it stand out a little bit more. Maybe we will put it in its own like white box right there. I'm using the keyboard shortcut Command and then the brackets left or right to send back or forward, which is a really handy like pro tip. We'll add a background blur on this. And all I'm doing is I'm putting this on a white background just to make some hierarchy, just to make this really stand out over what we're going to add below it, which is going to be like next to directions. So we'll do a shadow and maybe a bit of a heavier shadow, or actually we don't want background blur. There we go. Maybe not so heavy. A good tip that I like to share is make the Y value of your shadow half of what you make the blur value. And that's a really nice combination for something like that. I'm going to make this actually just a tad darker so it stands out a little bit more. Awesome. Awesome. So Ashish got the plugin working. Let us know how it's working out for everyone else. And then we're going to put in our next directions here at the bottom. So we'll say like, then continue for 1 mile. Or feel free to use the metric system if that's the way you go. And feel free to also like take this into other directions, right? Maybe it's not an instruction interface for a driver. Like, what would this look like if this was the interface that showed you how a smart self-driving car was making its decisions? Like, that's a really interesting use case that maybe you could use this design to showcase. So we'll actually say continue straight for 1 mile, and we're gonna want to make this a bit smaller. This is less important for someone to see while they're driving, so that's why we're making it smaller. That's too bold. How about medium? Okay. And this will probably have an icon too, which will likely just be a straight icon, just a straight arrow, that is. Someone asked if, ooh, that was weird. Someone asked if the map is vector. It is not. It is just a PNG image or a JPEG image, something like that. But I will show you another tool here in a second. I probably don't have enough time to actually show you the tool, but I'll show you what you can get from the tool. It's called Mapbox, and I've included a link here, mapbox.com. And you can get even further in customizing your map, and you can get super high resolution images. You can take off the labels if you want. That's how I generated this image here. Maybe you want to throw it into perspective where you can show the route going even further. They have a look for the studio feature at Mapbox, Mapbox Studio. And we could even include further directions on here. So let's do a route as well. So we're doing turn right onto 7th Street. So perhaps we're going down like Brannan, or let's see. Who here? Anyone familiar with San Francisco? Okay, so we're going to do, let's do the line tool down 7th Street. And we're going to make it, most applications for maps do like a blue path for the route. This is going to be an important aspect. You'll notice that the map you get from the map generator plugin, it's quite crowded with lots of other elements that you get by default in with Google Maps. There are ways to customize that if you know how to code, but otherwise you can use Mapbox. So we'll do that. And usually you probably want the person to be coming in from like the middle of the screen, like is where the current car is what we're going to say. And so we will just add a point here. Oh, let's go to the pen tool and we can modify our path. There we go. Cool. And so we're starting to see the navigational path. I even would be probably a little bit too discomforted by this amount of information because I don't really need to know that the Children's Creativity Museum is over here, right? So that's something to keep in mind since we are on the topic of progressive disclosure. Awesome. Ashish is asking, how did I do that? What are you asking? How did I do? And I'm glad you're liking those resources. So we will add the icon of where the car is. That's going to be an important thing. People always want to know where they are. And so that's usually, at least in Google, they usually do that with just a circle. And we'll do a white circle with that blue background to kind of continue that flow. And we'll add an arrow in here to show you that this is you, and this is the direction you're going, which might seem simple, but it's actually really important. We'll make this black, and just a nice way to pizzazz up your rectangle, or your triangle, sorry, is to make it go in a little bit, like a true directional arrow, or like that. That looks pretty good. See, it's pretty easy to make your own icons, actually. It doesn't take that long. Sometimes it takes longer to actually go online and find resources. That can take longer than just making your own sometimes. So your destination will be on the right, let's say. And let's cut this off here and continue onto a new line. And maybe we even do like a little pin icon, and we'll make this one too. Why not? Turn right or turn left? Yeah, thanks for picking that up. This is definitely turn left. Good thing that's easy to change, right? Oh my gosh. Let's also center align this. Cool. You could also add voice triggers in here so that this system is even talking to the user, because why not? Why not? That would only make this an easier system to use. And we'll make this icon black. To make a pin, we're just going to edit the circle, bring it down a few notches, and maybe make this not so more sharp. Ooh, okay. I'm running out of time for my design mode here, but we'll finish this up. Put a little circle in there. Look, boom, that's a pin right there. We can even subtract it from our shape. Look at that. I encourage you to make more than just one screen. Continue this onto 2 screens. And maybe if you're feeling, adventurous, try prototyping, going to the prototype mode and seeing how you can bring these 2 screens together, how it changes from one direction to the next is going to be super valuable for you in your design. So really what that would look like is just duplicating it. You could change all of the designs themselves into a new screen, and we would just make a wire that goes from one to the other. Either maybe it's a voice trigger, so you could say, what's the next direction? And then XD can actually change the design to the next screen. Cool. Cool. Thanks for picking up on my little mishap with turning left, not right. Oh my gosh. You know, when you're on a live stream, you're designing right on the fly. It can get, you miss some of these like obvious details, right? Hopefully the driver doesn't crash, right? So to share our design, we're going to do share for review. Click on that blue share button. You can generate a link. Let's do this. Create link. Boom. That's great. Golden stuff right there. It's going to upload your design to the web. Take this link, and hopefully maybe you make a prototype of it because you'll have more time. Copy that link and then share it back into Discord because this is where I can give you feedback. Other community members can give you feedback. Take that feedback and integrate it into your design. Make a second version if you'd like, because hopefully you'll get enough constructive feedback that that this will be helpful to you. Someone's asking the size of the artboard. I've included your first artboard in there, so you don't even have to worry about it. Just download the starter file. And so let's look at Behance here. Once you finesse your design and work out all those little kinks that you get feedback on, upload it. Yeah, upload it to Behance because that's really where you can show off your true skills. So if you hit create a project up here in Behance, you can upload your files. Here's one, I'll just use this as an example from a previous stream. You can even like design your whole layout here. And then when you are uploading it and you're you're telling your story of your design, you can even include that link where you have your prototype. You can embed your prototype even. While this uploads, in settings, you'll want to include a tag that says XD Daily Challenge, and that is going to be helpful to curate you and everyone else's designs in this ecosystem of everyone. So basically, then I could share while this is loading. I'll show you what that search page looks like. So XD Daily Challenge. If you set that as a tag, as a keyword, actually Behance calls it a keyword. Look for keyword, and I'll show you that in a second when this is done. Or maybe I should just find a smaller image. There we go. That's someone from Dribble. Maybe this one's going to take a while too. But over in search, it will populate here and you can see your design. Thanks, Tim, for typing in that keyword. And you'll see your design along with everyone else's. And it'll, of course, be on your profile. And so you, as well as even potential employers, could see your design. And it could maybe even lead to a job, so you can build up your portfolio, which is really just going to be beneficial for everyone. Okay, so here, I'm not going to this isn't my work, so I'm not actually going to upload it. But you can upload a cover image, right? And then, sorry, my phone's buzzing. I have a timer to keep me on track here. You can upload a cover image, and then in settings, sorry about that. Okay. In settings over here. Okay, this is gonna take a while to upload again. Oh, maybe not. Let's do, you give it a title. on Behance here. Crop and continue right here. Discoverability, that's the tab you want to look for. Keywords XD, daily challenge, boom. That's going to be really important for you. No, you don't need the hashtag or # or anything. So that is about it for our designing here today. I'm really curious to see your designs when it comes to designing this navigation screen. But I will see you pretty soon, next week, and I'll be giving you feedback on the fly if you share it on Discord. So be sure to do that, and I will see you here again tomorrow, as well as all the other days this week and next week. So have a blast downloading that starter file, and I will see you tomorrow. See ya.